Game 3. I call this game Indication Mark Treat. This is the game where we're going to add that trained indication, that trained behavior to the visible article or lid. We're going to use our verbal cue to prompt the indication behavior. So the article is going to become the cue for your dog to perform their indication. Now, if you're familiar with adding a new cue to an old cue, this all makes perfect sense. The new cue, the article with our odor on it, plus the old cue, down, for example, plus mark, plus treat. The order of this is very important. We need our dog to orient to the article. Now, our dog should be expecting treats on that article, so the nose is naturally going to go down to the article. When it does, cue your indication down, mark, treat. So let's get going. We're going to warm up our dogs. Remember, we always want them happy and engaged and ready to work with us. And then we're going to kind of just remind them about the value of the importance of this lid. And we're going to play a little game 1. Now, this should go really quickly because your dog at this point should be like, ooh, food is going to arrive on that lid. So on about the 3rd repetition, when you toss that treat away, this time when your dog comes back to the lid, and again, their nose is going to go right back to that lid because they're expecting reinforcement there. I want you to cue your indication down, mark with a quiet yes, and then reinforce on the lid. The lid's naturally going to end up between their two paws, so again, this is important for placement of your reinforcement. Remember, rinse and repeat. After a few reps, your dog is probably going to start offering the down even before you cue it, and that is fabulous and exactly where we were headed. Now, if your dog's doing really well up to this point, again, when you toss the treat away to reset your dog, move the article this time, just a short distance, maybe about an arm's length from where it was. Make sure they come back to the article and don't just offer their indication behavior without first going over to the article. If you've put a lot of value into that article, they should reorient and go back to the article. Some dogs, however, I will say, will think of this exercise as targeting, a true targeting exercise, or they are just going to offer the behavior without going to the article. We're going to have to work through that. So if they do that, if they just come back to you and offer the behavior without going to the article, wait them out, see what they do. Most dogs, particularly dogs experienced in shaping, are going to go over to the article. And that's going to be a powerful learning moment for them. If your dog is less confident, unsure, has really no history in offering behaviors, it's going to be okay for you to tap very lightly on that article a couple of times just to sort of remind them, over here, they come over there, cue your indication, mark, and treat. So the question again, can you use a clicker instead of a verbal marker? Absolutely. There are potential drawbacks. The clicker is going to raise arousal, which could get your dog into such a state that, again, they just start offering the behavior without thinking and realizing they have to go to the article. And also, when dogs hear that click, most dogs are going to naturally turn back to you for reinforcement and away from their focus on the article. I kind of like my dog to stay focused on the article. And the other thing about the click is you have to really be mindful about what you're clicking. You may want to save the clicker to assist with building duration into your indication when you're further along in this process. Or if you're at the stage right now where you need to shape an indication behavior. I used a clicker with Millie as a puppy to shape her down indication because she didn't have any behaviors on cue as a 10-week-old puppy. And it was something I could notice right away that she was starting to offer. So I actually just shaped her right at start playing game 3. If you need help shaping a behavior, let me know and I can help you through that. If your dog starts pawing or biting or trying to retrieve the object, this could be because of a few things. It usually means that our timing is late when it comes to verbally cueing our indication, marking, and rewarding. Or they're asking for duration too early in the process, or their arousal levels are just too high. If you need to, because we don't want them particularly mouthing the object, if you need to, hold the lid down with your finger, or if you're familiar with the mouse game, it's called It's Your Choice, you can cage the article like you would a piece of food. So the dog cannot rehearse mouthing, biting, retrieving, or aggressively pawing at it. And if you are shaping a behavior, make sure you click or verbally mark before the mouth can make contact. Reward away from the lid will help as well. Now this is actually, it's an easy game to play, but if you've never done this before, a lot of little questions are going to come up, problems, little struggles, and I've tried to capture them a lot in the PDF lesson. So I really suggest that you read through that lesson, and if you have further questions, of course, please post them. But some of your questions may be answered in that lesson. So go have fun with this game. I really want to see your videos on it because we're going to be moving forward here pretty quickly, and this is really a key game. So again, have fun and see you soon.